Hi, and welcome to another week of football on Onside. Budge and I are going to tell you what's been happening. We're going to give you the results, which teams have gone up, who played in the cup finals, and how it looks. And our leagues for our gambling will now be American leagues and Swedish leagues. And Budge, the master, has done his homework and will keep us up to speed on what's going on. But let's recap and talk about what happened in the past week, because we had FA Cup finals, we had relegation battles. But let's start at the top. The FA Cup final Saturday, it got Arsene Wenger another 2 years by the look of things.
Yeah, deserving winners.
Yeah, I thought they played well on the day. And Budge, they're a side that flatter to deceive.
Yeah.
They haven't made the top four. They haven't got into championship football. Wenger won it for the seventh time. It's a wonderful record. You know, people are quick to say, get rid of him. We didn't make the top five. Who comes in? Who would take a job like that now?
Simeone. Well, the problem is if he was going to go,
yes,
you got to make plans in February, March, and try and seek a manager.
Well,
don't just do it now.
They've got time now, but if you look at it, it's a couple of months, 3 months or something.
Yeah, but would Simeone leave Atletico Madrid, go into the new stadium? You look at your top bosses. You know, you really want a top boss for Arsenal, and you can't just go and just thumb pick and
you have to
take a Eddie Howe. You know, this Arsenal's.
You know what is amazing? The English managers just don't seem to hack it. But most of the teams that have gone on to have great success have imported their managers. You look at Ferguson; he's a Scotsman. He came in and turned it all around. And then Arsenal, being Wenger being a Frenchman, this footballing years cost him his marriage.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a tough year for him, but I'm a big fan of his. You know, when you go through a year without losing a game, he brought some of the finest talent to British football. And on a personal note, I'm pleased he stayed on.
Yeah, I think so too. He's a class act.
Class act, and we beat them this year.
Yeah, for the first time in 20 odd years.
Yeah,
but,
first time. So,
Paul, I just worry about the goals of Arsenal in the vision. Where are they going? Yeah, they can't attract the top players anymore.
Are they going to lose those two quality players?
Well, I wouldn't worry about Ozil, but you've got to keep Sanchez.
Yeah.
Sanchez.
Ozil's got ability.
Yeah, he has.
He made a year or two ago, he was the most assists and things like that. And they have players who play for their country, but don't do well enough.
That's not saying much, Paul.
Yeah.
Most of the players in the Premiership play for their country, but I worry for Arsenal.
Yeah,
but maybe this will be the kickstart that they need.
They got to buy?
Guaranteed they've got to buy.
Everyone's starting to buy.
Well,
now.
Everyone's got to buy.
I see Bournemouth bought, I think, a goalkeeper.
Yeah, they got the goalkeeper Besovic from Chelsea.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at the Championship playoff. Now, I really find those games so good. And Huddersfield, imagine now Patrick Stewart, the actor, was in the crowd. Great actor. He's a Huddersfield boy, and he's not a young man. And he was going dilly with excitement. And then they missed their first penalty. The first penalty to miss was Huddersfield.
Yeah.
I must have thought, we're gone.
Yeah, of the two teams, Paul, if either had got beat, don't cry, because I thought Huddersfield of the two teams looked like they wanted to win. Reading, I thought, were poor. It was a case of let's not get beat and let's try and sneak something.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought that.
Yeah, the guy should have scored in the first 4 or 5 minutes for Huddersfield. He cut it across. How he missed, I still don't know.
Yeah.
But of the two teams...
I'll tell you about it. But good luck to Huddersfield.
Yeah, of course.
Now, they're calling it the biggest game in football.
Yeah, well,
now, what I didn't know when I was listening to them, and I didn't get the exact details, that if Huddersfield come up, there's millions and millions coming into their coffers. They can buy, they can do what they like. If they go straight out, for the next 2 years...
Parachute payments,
Yeah, they get 2 parachute payments, so like 15 million a time.
Well, they say it's 170 million. Now, what I read, 95 million is if you come last, and then the 75 million pound in parachute payments,
Gee, so now they got that. What about the teams who immediately qualified? They got big money as well.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So they're all in it.
Oh, they're all in it.
Yeah, well, it's the best watched league in the world. You've got to pay. So that's it. So Huddersfield goes through. Reading live to fight another day.
Yeah, shame. That's how it goes.
Yeah, let's talk local soccer.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to go first because just remember, Budge and I said last year, Chiefs and Pirates will not win the league. We're going to tell you the top 5, who got relegated and who made the top 8. Let's start off with the top 5 places. The games that were played, Chiefs beat Wits.
Yeah.
It was a dead rubber.
Yeah, dead rubber. Not for Chiefs, but to Wits. Yeah.
Wits. Highlands Park, they came back from 2 down against Sundowns, but they got relegated.
Yeah, Sundowns were lucky that if Cape Town City had won, they were 2-0 up against Polokwane, but got beat 4-2. If they'd won, the pressure was on them.
Yeah.
Once they got beat,
that's right. And then
pressure was off,
Cape Town City dead rubber for them.
No, well, if they'd won and Sundowns had drawn, they could have gone above them.
Okay, it's all money.
Got beat 4-2.
League winners, 60 points, Bidvest Wits.
Deserve it.
First time for the student, the clever boys, the students.
Clever boys.
Sundowns, year and year at our best
Cup
side.
champions.
57, 3 points back.
Yeah.
55, Cape Town City.
Superb
Tinkler.
season. He
Very
should
good.
be manager of the year for what he's done. I don't think he'll get it.
Yes.
I think Pitts will get it for having won the CAF Championship and Super Cup. But for what he's done there, outstanding performance.
Great job. Kaiser Chiefs, 10 points behind in fourth, guys. The boss there, under pressure?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. And then Super Sport United, another good team, 48 points.
They're involved in the CAF Confederations Cup. They're a cup team.
So that's your top 5. Now let's look at top 8 places.
Yeah.
Marisburg United drew with Bloem Celtic. Yeah. Golden Arrows beat Orlando Pirates.
They got them into the 8th place,
Did it, eh?
Yeah.
Super Sport United lost to Platinum Stars, and Ajax Cape Town lost to
that killed Ajax.
Yes.
The guy, Roscoe Peterson, got sent off before half-time. If they'd won, I think they'd have finished 7th, Ajax. Ended up finished 10th.
Yeah, correct.
So
They
that's
finished
in the
36
red
points.
card.
So 43 points, Polokwane in 6th.
Yeah.
7th place,
Good
Marisburg
season.
United, 38.
Yeah.
8th, Golden Arrows, 38. So they're the top 8.
Yeah.
1 point behind Platinum Stars, 2 points behind Ajax. And then it drops down to Orlando Pirates. You boys listening? Pirates.
Can't win the league.
11th, 33 points, minus 11. And they got a new boss. He's gonna. He must be skating on thin ice, even though he's just started.
Well, they're in the Nedbank Challenge final. A couple of weeks' time. They don't win that, I think he'd be going back to Sweden.
Yeah, well, they might pull an Arsenal.
Yeah, could be.
Okay, the PSL results on Saturday for the relegation.
Sure. Yeah.
Highlands and Sundowns drew. We went through that. Now, the bottom of the log. Let's get this right. This is important. 12th and 29 points that we're going down here, Budge. Bloem, Chipper United, 28 points. Free State Stars, 28 points. Baraka, 28 points. And the team that got relegated, Highlands Park, 27. How tight was that?
Nah.
You know, you win a game
If
and
Highlands
you
had
go
won,
into
they were out
12th.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they go to 12th. So Baraka
They're in
got
the
the
playoffs. Yeah.
And they've started already.
Yeah, they drew 2-2 with Stellenbosch yesterday. It's a good game. They played at Athlone.
And is that the old...
Vasco da Gama.
they're the Portuguese club.
Portuguese club, yeah. Sammy Troughton takes some ex-Sundowns and Wolves players. Sammy's in charge.
Oh, yeah, I know Sammy. Okay, so they drew. So they're still in the hunt.
Yeah.
Now it's home and away. So
Home
it's
and
4
away.
games. There's 3 teams involved. The 2 that are in 2nd and 3rd.
Black Leopards, Black Leopards play Stellenbosch today. On Saturday in Venda. So enjoy the trip. Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. All right. And then now this to me is so worrying. I know there's only 16 teams in the Premier League, but the top goal scorer got 13 goals.
Yeah, Manyama, yeah.
He wouldn't have been in the top 10 in England. I know there's more games, but Manyama, good player.
Yeah, I like him, yeah.
Good player. Cape Town City got there. Then Pirates, and Dora must be a good player because his team finished 11th and he got
hardly
12
played,
goals.
yeah. Nice guy. I think he took all the penalties and free kicks.
Well, that helps. That helps. Mklangu, Bidvest Wits,
Yeah.
Nine.
No,
That's not good enough.
Not good enough. 30
But
league games,
it's
so he
like-
plays 20 of them. Or 25 of them, yeah. It's not good enough.
Not good enough. And then Galela
Yeah.
from Polokwane 9. That's just not good enough. Right, the big game this weekend has got to be in Cardiff.
Yeah.
Will Bell get a game?
No.
Start on the bench?
Yep.
Because
Got to play Isco. He's been the best player this year,
Isco's
him
been
and Modric.
outstanding. He'll play Isco, he'll play Modric. Juventus, top side.
Yeah. Of the 2 teams, I like them. I was just impressed the way they dispatched Barcelona.
Yeah.
They buried them in Turin, and even in the new camp, they came under pressure, but they always looked like scoring.
So, but you'd take a bit of 18 to 10?
I go win and draw Juventus. That was what I would be. It's hard with Ronaldo. They got match winners, Real Madrid. Come the big time, they step up those players. Yeah. But of
So
the 2, I like Juventus. I
Similar
think it's their
records.
time.
Last 12 games?
Yeah.
It's very similar.
just
Juventus won 9, drew 3. Other team won 8, drew 3 and lost 1.
The difference is that Juventus don't concede many goals.
Wow,
They've had
9
clean sheets.
Yo, that's
but the way
important.
Real Madrid play, they just all bomb forwards. So.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be a bit different this time. But I think there'll be goals in it, Paul.
Juventus took out Monaco, Barcelona. They took out Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich.
Yeah, but
Great
they were lucky.
sides.
Yeah, no.
Great sides, all of them.
be a
Okay, and then on
cracker.
Saturday, 3 o'clock,
Yeah.
the Black Leopards
Yeah.
play Stellenbosch. That's that playoff game.
Yeah, you got to fancy Black Leopards of the 2. The betting
In
isn't
Venda.
out. It's in Venda, yeah, because they played yesterday. Of the 2 teams, fancy Black Leopards.
Especially on form at the moment. But
Yeah.
that draw to Baraka will have given them a bit of confidence.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a playoff. Keep an eye at the spot for the playoffs to see who's coming up. See if there's somebody else coming to play here. Now, The Swedish league has got me stumped. But you've done your homework on it, and we got games. Here, the first. I'll look at the screen and talk about it here, Budge.
Yeah. Well,
1, 2, 3.
There should be. Sundsvall, well, GIF, Gafana, Sundsvall, they can't score goals, league's lowest scorers. Ostersund's going well, got to fancy them big time. Kalmar, Örebro, 2 teams out of form. Yeah, you've got to side with Kalmar of the 2 teams, but the draw's a big player. Now,
Yes.
Malmö's a team everybody knows in Sweden. Yeah, 8 to 10. They're going well, Malmö. They're top of the league, going well away from home. Jönköping Södra, they got promoted 2 seasons ago. They actually beat Malmö at home last year, but I don't think they'll beat them this year. And Eskilstuna, they moved out of the city they were at. They got promoted last year. They were under AFC United, and new owner bought them, moved them to a new city.
Named them after a fish.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Sheesh.
There's something fishy
What a-
about them. They
Yeah,
can't win a
gee.
game. The only reason I haven't gone for AAK Stockholm is they played Malmö at home on Monday and got beat. And they play the second best team tonight, IFK Norrköping.
Is it a very good league, Budge?
No,
You don't think so?
no, it's a grooming lead.
Okay, I'll ask you, where would Malmö, who are the top, fit in the Premier League?
No,
The
they'd be
Championship?
struggling to stay up.
In the,
In the Premiership, yeah.
Oh, we're trying if that.
Yeah, in fairness, though, they have performed well in the Champions League on occasions over the years.
Yeah.
But
But that's a one-off, yeah.
that'd be, your bottom
under
5,
pressure.
6 teams. Yeah, they're a selling club, Paul. There's no money there, so it's difficult for them.
What would they earn? Any ideas?
No.
Did Egerson play there in Sweden?
Gordon,
Austria.
Austria, yeah.
Even Austria. Gordon Egerson played in Austria when he was younger. Yeah. How about the next game? This is Sunday at 3 o'clock. What are they called? Hammarby.
Hammarby, yeah, against Djurgårdens. I like the away team there, Paul, of
Yeah.
the 2 teams. We win and draw Djurgårdens of the 2 teams.
And then the next game, can you take this team seriously?
Yeah, I think
don't
they'll
know
win.
these names.
Halmstad are struggling. They can't win away from home. Halmstad, serious. Yeah, having a good season. They're sitting 7th. I fancy them. And I think Norrköping, they beat Malmö 2-1 away 2 weeks ago, so they should be too good with Gothenburg. My only concern is they're playing tonight. They're playing at home tonight.
Okay.
But I think they'll win.
Okay, so that's what else we got in the Swedish. What's it called? Allsvenskan.
Allsvenskan.
Allsvenskan. Sounds like a medical procedure. I've had my Allsvenskan scan and I'm feeling good. So that's the name of their league, eh?
Yep.
Okay.
Main league.
So we've done that. We finished with the Swedish teams.
Yes.
We'll have a look at them when you pick your selections later. Now, coming up is the American League. And
Yeah.
when people talk about the American League, a lot of great players, their twilight years, they go
Yeah.
there. And everyone seems to go towards LA Galaxy.
Well, that's Los Angeles. That's the big team there.
And it's the area to be in,
Yeah.
to be in LA. I suppose New York, LA.
Beckham, Robbie Keane's been there. Gerrard was there last season, or 2 seasons ago.
Cosmos used to
New
be
York
New York.
Cosmos
They
was
have
the
some
main
legends
team.
with Jomo
They're
going
still
there.
going, yeah, but the
Are
Red
they?
Bulls have taken over there.
Red Bulls.
Yeah.
Are they sponsored by Red Bull?
Yep.
Gee, they sponsor everything.
Yeah.
That fizzy, sugary drinks got us going, eh?
Yeah.
But let's look at the games we've got now.
Okay.
I don't know much about the budget. I'm relying completely
Okay.
on you.
Now, New York City,
Yes.
they're owned by Man City.
They're owned by Man
Yeah,
City.
Man City have got a share in the club. They're called the Bronx Blues because they play in the Bronx. They're
And they
coached
play
by
in blue- do they
Patrick
play in
Vieira.
blue? Patrick Vieira, Arsenal.
Arsenal legend. He's the coach.
Do you
and
remember the going back to the Premier League?
Yeah.
You had Keane, Vieira, and the Liverpool legend
Stevie Gerrard.
Stevie
yeah.
Gerrard. How were those 3 in the midfield?
Well, there's the greatest documentary you've ever seen in your life. It's called The Best of Enemies.
It's a great name. And was it about those 3?
It starts off, Roy Keane walks down a passage, turn left, and there's a stool. He stands there and he looks up.
Yeah.
Patrick Vieira comes down the other corridor, sees a doorway, turns right, and he looks down. And for 10 seconds, they just eye each other.
Fantastic.
He didn't need a ball. And what a brilliant documentary it was. Best of Enemies. Keane
Who's a
and
better
Vieira.
player? Vieira or Thing? They're different styles.
Different styles.
Vieira's great on the ball.
Yeah.
Thing would run through a wall.
Well, Keane could score a lot of goals too,
Yeah.
but he was the anchor man. Both
Yeah.
class players.
Class
yeah.
players. And so is Gerrard.
Oh, no
Gee,
doubt.
legends. 3 legends. Okay, so New York City, Patrick
Yeah.
Vieira's in charge.
Yep.
And they're playing against the Philadelphia.
New York City drew last night 2-2 at home. I don't see them getting beat because Philadelphia Union are struggling away from home. They've only won one of the last 11. But I've thrown the draw in because I don't like these teams that play Wednesday, Saturday.
Yeah, yeah.
So of the 2 teams, New York City for me. Yeah.
Sporting Kansas City play
Yeah.
against Minnesota
They should
United.
be certainties. Yeah.
Trevor Denman could be a winger for Minnesota. He's
Minnesota.
got a farm out in Minnesota.
Nice and warm in Minnesota.
Yeah,
Sporting
jeez.
Kansas City for me, best bet of the week in America. Last
6 to
15
10.
home games, yeah. 112, drawn 3. Should be too good for a poor team, yeah.
The Vancouver Whitecaps, they got that because of the snow, guaranteed.
Yeah, ironically, the guy that is in charge of Atlanta United was a guy called Gerardo Martino. He was the coach of Argentina in the last World Cup. And prior to that, he was at Barcelona.
So
he's
knows his
Messi's
stuff.
mate. They've
So
come right, but I don't see them winning in Vancouver. Yeah?
Okay. DC, is that District Columbia?
The District of Columbia versus the LA Galaxy. Now, it's strange. They've lost their last 3 home games, DC United, whereas LA Galaxy, they're on a 4-game road trip because they're on the West Coast. When they go to play the East Coast, they go away for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think Galaxy 17-10. They're in our bets. Paul. Tottenham
top
boy's
6.
the main player there. Giovanni Dos Santos, the Mexican. He's the key man there.
That's right. I remember him. Yeah. Then New England.
New England,
Toronto, top of the league.
Yeah, going well, Toronto.
So
but so are New England.
They get the Canadian sides in with them.
Well, what they do, there's 2 conferences. There's the Eastern Conference and the
conferences.
Western Conference.
They love these
So there's
conferences.
11 in either conference. They've increased it this year. But 11 in either conference. And they play each other home and away, obviously, in the conference. And they play cross pools. And the top 6 go through in the typical American playoffs, home team.
So these games could be different conferences.
No, yes. But they do have a cross-conference where the results do count in their league. Yeah, this is a close game. New England at home don't get beat too often, whereas Toronto, last 8 games, have won 7 and drawn 1.
Great game.
So that's a tricky one of the 2, yeah.
They played at different hours.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
1:30
6,
in the
7
morning.
hours
Do
to
they
the
show
East
them?
Coast.
Because they're on
We
TV?
used to get it on ESPN, but we don't get them now. Yeah,
Okay, Montreal trying to make an impact.
Yeah, you're
They're
right.
against the New York Arby's, Red Bulls.
Well, the Red Bulls at home, they're unbeaten, but they've lost their last 5 away games, but to good teams. I think they can get something out of this game here, Paul. But
And JR's team,
yeah,
Dallas 6-10.
Yeah, I fancy Dallas. Real Salt Lake, last 14 away games, they've lost 12. So Dallas should be good things. Yeah.
Gee, it's all around the country, eh?
Yeah.
Colorado Rapids.
Colorado are struggling, but they got beaten in the playoff final last year. They got beaten penalties. Now, the guy that was at Man United, Tim Howard, and Everton, the goalkeeper.
Yes.
But they've come right. They've won the last 2 home games. I like Colorado of the 2 teams.
To beat Columbus and
Yeah.
that crew. Okay, right. Now we're going to be getting a lot of American football coming through and Swedish football. We'll get to know the teams, and Budge will be starting to find out who the key players are over the next few weeks. But let's go and have a look at the soccer pools, because this is where it all starts. Now, Budge, you're under pressure.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've gone the field with the first game purely because Portugal are playing Cyprus. Now, I hate these friendly games. I always look and see where the friendly game is. The couple tonight, they're playing in France. All these African teams, they play in France.
What are they having friendlies for now?
Well, there's African Cup of Nation qualifiers next week. So
Okay,
they're all
tightening up.
preparing,
Yeah.
So Portugal, they should be too good for Cyprus. Malmo should be too good for Young Copping Sodra. Now, the next 2 are local derbies. Sodra, yeah. Coritiba versus Atletico Paranense, local derby. Of the 2 teams, I like the home team, but I've gone 3 because I permalize it. Now, Corinthians, Santos, going well.
Where's that game being played?
That's in Sao Paulo. 2 big teams in Sao Paulo. And I've gone for Fluminense. They got beat 2-0 in the cup last night, but they rested their main players. They should be too good for Bahia, who can't score. And this is the second one, the American. I feel impact in the Red Bulls. Likewise, New England Revolution and Toronto FC. I've sided with New York City, win and draw over Philadelphia. Likewise, the Vancouver Whitecaps over Atlanta United. I've banked at Sporting Kansas City and LA Galaxy 216.
I want to ask you, guys a bet. Guys, which they're going to. They're going to file and take their prices, have their bets. Where do they follow the games? Do you go on the net?
You can go on into that's the only way. There's
And
a
then you get
variety of
results.
them. Yeah, I've gone on to
I know Sporting Life goes through every country's football.
Well, Sofa Score, SOFA, Sofa Score. I've gone onto that site and you can click on and it's up to date like you cannot believe. I follow the rugby.
Where would you get team changes and things like that?
Well,
Is
you're going to
there a
have to
site?
follow that on the normal soccer score. That's the difficult part.
Yeah. Okay, so 216 and 162 you spent
Correct,
there, Budge.
yeah.
Right, let's have a look at Soccer 10. This must be a nightmare.
Well, I've gone to the field with Juventus Real Madrid. I've banked at FC Zurich, who they've already won the league.
Yeah.
Volen are 43 points behind them in the league. It's a final league game. That's my only concern. But Zurich...
Throw in the kids.
Yeah, that's the only thing. But Zurich should be too good for them. I've gone the field with Kalmar and Orebro. I've banked Ostersunds over GIF Sundsvall. I've banked Portugal to beat Cyprus.
And the other 5?
Second page. Well, the next one is a Swiss challenge game as well. Nia Schüttel Zermatt are the better team, but it's the last game. But I don't see them getting beat.
Some hell of a game.
Yeah, well, that's all unfortunate at the moment. It's not the easiest to pick. And I've banked Malmo. I've gone the field in the Pyrenees Derby and the Sao Paulo Derby, and I've banked Fluminense for 324 Rand.
Okay, and then the one that if you catch, you can...
Well, this one, if you think the last soccer 10 is bad, have a look at these teams. I've gone the field Juventus and Real Madrid. I've banked Malmo. I've gone win and draw Kalmar over Orebro. I've banked Ostersunds, and I've banked the biggest club in the world, Broma Pochkana.
But they got all the kids and all that.
247 teams. Yeah,
247 teams, eh?
Yeah, then the next few games are the Swedish Superettan, which is like the English championship equivalent. I've gone Dalkurd, who are going well away from home. They've only lost to top teams. Going to win and draw them. I've banked IFK Vonama against the worst team, RK Frej. Second page, I've gone Osters win and draw over Norby. I've gone Vasselins win and draw over Acropolis. I've banked Brage, who 7 games this year. They've won all 7. I've gone win and draw Mjalbi over Siriska. Win and draw Karlsruhe over Skovden. I've taken a chance in the last game, Lujinskiel, who are going well, but it's hard to bank at some of these lower league teams against. But Christiansenstad, not the best of team, but I've taken a chance there, Paul.
Wow.
Bank at Lujinskiel.
I haven't a clue. For this, we're going to have to follow the numbers. Now, Budge, it all comes down to the tricky part. Now you've got to put this together into bets. And let's start with the Swedish.
The Swedish quad. I've gone Malmo to beat Jönköping Södra, and I've gone IFK Norrköping to beat Gothenburg. And then I've gone over 2.5 goals in the Eskilstuna versus ARK Stockholm and Hammarby versus Djurgårdens. That worked out 2,500 at 200. I've taken the
budget summer there.
It's summer, yeah.
Yeah, so the fields are beautiful.
No, fields are superb. A lot of the teams in Sweden play on grass and they play on artificial. So
okay, because of the winter.
Because of the snow, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, your American quartet.
American quartet. I've gone Sporting Kansas City to beat Minnesota. I've gone LA Galaxy to beat DC United, Dallas to beat Real Salt Lake, and I've gone Colorado Rapids to beat Columbus Crew. That worked out at 16-1. Yeah.
Okay, win and draw.
Yeah, I've gone the win and draw. I've gone 6 teams because the odds didn't.
So they have to win
or draw. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I've gone Juventus. I like Juventus over Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I've gone Juventus win and draw over Real Madrid. I've gone Djurgårdens win and draw over Hammarby. Yeah. I've gone the LA Galaxy win and draw over DC United. Likewise, New York Red Bulls over the Montreal Impact, Colorado Rapids over the Columbus Crew, and it's a Brazilian game on Sunday. I've gone Sport Recife to get a draw at a team who haven't scored all year. That team's called Avai.
But the win and draw bet, is that on 90 minutes?
That's 90 minutes, yeah.
So
1-1.
So Real Madrid could win it.
Real Madrid win, we're gone. So we've gone Juventus win or draw.
But after 90 minutes, if they've drawn?
No, if it's a draw and if it goes to extra time,
we go out.
No. It's 90 minutes. If it's 1-1 or 0-0, it's a draw at extra time or Juventus win.
So Real Madrid could win it and we could stay in.
No, Real Madrid can't win it.
Why? You just said if they're going to
win
extra
or
time.
Draw. No, but if it's 90. Sorry, they can win at end. If they can win the cup, but it ends in 90 minutes.
In 90 minutes. Yeah. So get back to my point. Real Madrid could win this in Cardiff, and we could still.
Oh yes,
because they're drawing after 90.
If they're drawing after 90 minutes.
Okay,
yeah.
Lovely. Okay, then
both teams to score. Yeah, I've gone Juventus, Real Madrid. I think it'll be an open game.
Yeah.
You give Ronaldo half a chance, he'll slot it. Then the Brazilian derbies are the Derby, Coritiba, Atletico Paranense, likewise Palmeiras, Atletico Mineiro, and Montreal, New York Red Bulls. I think there'll be goals in them all, Paul. 1750 to 200.
And then all teams to win by more
this
than
is a
one
handicap.
goal.
Yeah, all the teams must win by more than 1 goal.
Yeah.
I've gone Fluminense to beat Victoria Bahia. I've gone Sporting Kansas City to beat Minnesota. Likewise, Ostersunds to beat GIF Sundsvall.
And then the toughie.
The 6 on extra, I've gone FC Zurich. Are
these all to win?
They all have to win. Yeah, they're in the Swiss Challenge League. I've gone Dallas to beat Real Salt Lake. Likewise, Gremio to beat Vasco da Gama. I've gone Cruzeiro to beat Chapi Coenza. IFK Gothenburg to beat, Norrköping to beat IFK Gothenburg, and Bromma Pochkana to beat Degerfors in the Swedish Superettan.
14-1.
14-1, yeah.
Tough football.
It's not easy, we got to keep trying to help the people. So I play most days and done my money in a few of them, but it's the only way you learn is.
Are these games all over the weekend?
All over the weekend.
So by Monday we'll have all our results.
Yep. Especially with the Brazilian and the Americans. Some of them are Sunday nights, midnight our time, but.
Okay, well, thanks, Budge. That's excellent. Well, there we go. As you say, it's a different direction we're going in now, but I think that American League will pick up a lot of interest, as will the Swedish League. And until next time, we'll see you then.